Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. Probably Alan Hinchley here. This is just going to be a quick little video. Um, you know, I remember watching years ago a movie. I think it was a post-apocalyptic style movie or a futuristic style movie where these people were walking around with their faces covered. The lower portion of their faces covered. It was a post-apocalyptic thing, and the guy, I remember the guy asked the lead guy asking someone about it, and he was told by the other person that they were the COVIDians. Now, the reason that came to my mind recently is that this whole woke culture I started hearing it be known as the Church of Woke on many different YouTube platforms that I follow. And I started looking into it a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I started looking into it. And then recently I started hearing the little whispers again of instead of it being called the Church of Woke, now it's being called, people that believe in all the woke culture and all that and that believe in Fauci and all the other bullshit that Bill Gates and Fauci and all these other dumbass fucking globalists say are being referred to as COVIDians. And it clicked in my head, this movie. And it got me to thinking, when did I see this movie? I don't even remember the fucking name of it. So it had to be years and years and years and years ago, like when I was a child, like maybe a teenager or younger. But the fact remains that there was a movie where they referred to people with masks over their face as COVIDians. Now, I don't know how y'all's brains work. I know how my brain works. To me, that seems an awful lot like they had this in the works for years and were waiting on the appropriate time to unleash this to kill a nation. Because that movie was about how this guy had woken up in the future or something like that. Anyway, they were called the COVIDians. And the fact that I can vaguely remember this tells me that the globalists planned this for years. The globalists, the Democrats, the left, and the mainstream media, the lamestream media, had this all planned out for years. And even used Hollywood in a movie to tell us, hey, you sleeping masses out there, this is what we plan on doing. So that if later on down the line they did it, and someone tried to say, well, we didn't know about this, they could sit there and say, well, yeah, you did. We told you. It was in the movie. We told you. To me, I see a lot of shit being done in the movies, and then I wait and I see the same type of shit being done in real life. Makes me think that maybe the globalists and the mainstream media and the Democrats are all using the movies to inform the masses as to their plan, but they're doing it in such a way that keeps the masses entertained, happy, and asleep. Now, my goal on this channel has morphed a few times, but at its core, it has always remained the same. To speak truth and get the truth out there, to wake people up to the truth, and to help save the nation that I love, that I have fought for, that I am willing to die to protect, and the rights of all of her legal citizens, whether you legally immigrated or you were born here. Legal citizens have certain rights. Now, we have seen, as in the Chauvin cop case with the cop with George Floyd there, we have seen that our rights and our constitutional rights, our Fifth Amendments and all that, are getting eroded away by terror of mob rule. The reason I say that is this: the judge in that Chauvin case should have, by all rights and means, immediately and completely sequestered the jury. Done. No internet, no papers, no TV, nada. So that they could look at the facts and give an unbiased, untainted, unafraid of repercussion answer. True verdict. The judge did not do that. And because of the judge not doing that, I believe a man who is innocent is now in danger. Well, he's not in danger. He is now going to be going to prison. And his whole life has been ruined because of one judge not doing what he was supposed to, and the jurors being afraid of not finding him guilty, and the mob repercussions on them and their family. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have been afraid, because I've been around mob rule. And yeah, mob rule ain't pretty. But as a nation, we have a little thing called due process that stops, or it's supposed to stop, mob rule from deciding who's innocent and who's guilty. We tried that whole mob rule thing in the 1800s with lynch mobs and all that. And more innocent people were killed than guilty were killed. We tried the whole mob rule thing with the Salem witch trials. And again, more innocent people were killed than guilty. A poet and an author once wrote that it is better that 100 people who actually did a crime go free than one innocent person be placed in prison or in jail. Now, I believe that because jails, prisons, they're not a nice place. They're a place that only the guilty should ever be placed in because they're not nice. Now, I believe, and I believe that the law stands with me on this one, that the state where this trial took place should charge Maxine Waters with jury tampering and should have the judge charged as well with conspiracy to commit jury tampering, as well as not allowing a true trial by jury of the man's peers, because they were all afraid that if we don't find him guilty, then this leftist mob is going to come in and burn down our cities and our homes and hurt our families. They were afraid of this. Truth be told, it happened any fucking way. The city is still burning. They're still rioting. Nothing changed. Why? Because they didn't get everything that they wanted. They didn't want the guy arrested on and convicted of second, third, fourth degree shit. They wanted him found guilty and charged on first degree, so he never sees the light of day, maybe even dies in prison. Now, that being said, the evidence was not there in any way for first degree murder charge or anything. But doesn't stop them from wanting it. Even Maxine Waters said he should be charged with first degree, even though the evidence didn't weight it. Still, the fact that the jury was able to see everything that Maxine Waters said, every single thing that the left was doing, that the left was saying, all boils down to the fact that they should be held accountable for jury tampering and conspiracy to commit jury tampering, as well as denying this officer the true meaning of due process and conspiracy to deny said officer of said due process. Now, I'm not sure if the due process thing is a law or not, but I do know that jury tampering is a federal and state offenses. In every state in the union, it is a felony offense. But they should also use, the left and Maxine Waters should also be charged with terrorism, conspiracy to commit terrorism, because Maxine Waters specifically said, when asked what should we do about this, she said we should get more violent. We should get out there more, be more forceful. That's terrorism. That's using a threat of violence to reach a political end wherein a minority, because let's face it, it's only fucking extremely less than 1% of the damn population here is against justice. But they are so vocal, they are so quick to gather through using Soros' money to get people to places that it looks like it's more. But small percentage of our population. But a small minority is using fear to get what they want. That is terrorism 101. You scare someone into thinking you're going to do something so that they give you what you want in the hopes that that you will not do what you said you would do. Everything I'm saying is factual. Look up the definition of terrorism. It is a clear-cut case for terrorism on this case. Now, Chauvin's attorney has grounds for an appeal. Even the judge said that they had grounds for an appeal, but they have multiple grounds for appeal based on the judge's conduct. And there are multiple grounds for this judge to be disbarred as an attorney, because yes, I'll grant you money that he is an attorney. But not only disbarred as an attorney, but to be kicked off the bench and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law as well. Which means he gets kicked off the bench, they prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law. That means he has the right to due process. And I will be the first one to say the man deserves due process. I will be the first one to admit there are people I fucking hate in this world. But they all deserve due process. You see, I believe freedom of speech, due process, Second Amendment. I believe in our first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th amendments to the Bill of Rights. I believe in our 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, all the way up through amendments to the Constitution. And I believe in our Constitution. Especially where it says we have inalienable rights. Inalienable means God-given rights. The God-given rights, the inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Well, what this theory did by caving to mob rule is deny Chauvin the ability to have liberty and happiness. They didn't come out and kill him, but trust me, going to prison is not a life. So you might as well have said that they killed him. They robbed him of his life too. Not only did they rob him of his life, his happiness, and his liberty, but I'll guarantee you that they're going to take his property, which means they're literally robbing the man of his stuff and the man's family. And I'll guarantee you that they sue, so now they're robbing him of his money that maybe he had squirreled away in case something happened to him. His wife could support the kids or the grandkids or whatever. You see, what they're left doing one thing is never good enough. You gotta do this one thing that they tell you. Then they move the goalpost back and say, well, we meant that if you do A, B, C, and D and give us all your money, or give it away to black people or whatever, then it's okay. Then they change it again. Well, if you have a home and you die, don't leave it to your children, leave it to a black or brown family. Or they always move the goalposts further back so that it benefits them. I'm asking you to please. I don't remember the name of the video of the movie where they referred to people that were wearing masks as COVIDians. If any of you can find it, please send me a link. Let me know so that I can watch it and see. But this video is already a lot longer than I wanted to make it. So until next time, remember, think for yourself, act in the manner that you want other people to treat you, and act in the manner that when you die and you stand before your Maker and you have to answer for what you've done, you will be proud to say, yes, I did that. I was well informed and I made the decision to do that. No one told me to do it. No one fed me lines to do it. I seen what was going on. I thought about it. I researched it and I made up my mind. Always, always think with your mind, logically. The Dems and the globalists want you to go by your feelings. Well, feelings aren't facts. Feelings just are, and if you wait 2 minutes, they'll change. Okay? Please, remember, think for yourself. Don't believe everything you hear. Believe half of what you see. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.